From Empires to Emergencies. Why is the UK wooing China? Imagine this. It's the 19th century, and Britain's mighty empire spans the globe, with its ships dominating trade routes and its wealth unparalleled. Fast forward to 2025, Britain's finance minister, or Chancellor of the Exchequer, but let's keep it simple, is in Beijing, inviting Chinese investments and pitching London as the natural home for your money. What happened to the swagger of the empire on which the sun never set? Why is the UK, once a global financial titan, bending over backwards for Chinese money? Let's explore. A 6-year silence finally broken. For the past 6 years, UK-China economic ties have been in a deep freeze. While trade quietly continued, no significant agreements were signed. Suddenly, the UK dispatched Finance Minister Rachel Reeves to Beijing, flanked by top brass from HSBC, Standard Chartered, and even the Bank of England. The trip culminated in a £600 million deal, with prospects to scale up to £1 billion. It was a clear signal that the UK was rolling out the red carpet for Chinese investments. Why this sudden enthusiasm? It boils down to the UK's economic struggles. Bond yields are soaring to 16-year highs, making borrowing more expensive than ever. Investors are skittish, and the government is scrambling to maintain stability. Who better to turn to than China, the world's cash-rich superpower? China and the UK, a love-hate relationship. The UK and China share a long, complicated history. From Britain's colonial rule over Hong Kong to present-day diplomatic tensions, the relationship has been both cooperative and fraught. The handover of Hong Kong in 1997 marked the end of Britain's direct control in Asia, but the financial ties remain strong. Today, those ties are a lifeline for Britain, whose post-Brexit economy is faltering. Despite the UK's need, the partnership is uneasy. Over the past few years, scandals involving spying allegations, Beijing's support for Russia during the Ukraine war, and its crackdown on democracy in Hong Kong have strained relations. Still, the UK can't afford to ignore China. As the world's second largest economy, China is either the UK's third or fourth largest trading partner, depending on the quarter. For a struggling Britain, even a complicated ally is better than no ally at all. What's in it for China? For China, the UK is more than just another trading partner. It's an opportunity. London remains one of the world's premier financial hubs, offering access to global markets and expertise. Moreover, China is keen on promoting its yuan as a stable global currency. Collaborating with established financial centers like London helps bolster the yuan's credibility. At the same time, Chinese investments in the UK solidify Beijing's influence in Western markets, turning economic partnerships into strategic assets. The bigger picture, a balancing act. Economic benefits versus national security. Chinese investments are undeniably lucrative for Britain, but they come with significant risks. National security concerns loom large, especially in critical sectors like technology and infrastructure. For example, Huawei's involvement in the UK's 5G network ignited fears of cyber espionage, leading to its eventual exclusion. The question for Britain is clear. How much influence can it afford to grant China without jeopardizing its sovereignty? Ethical concerns, walking the tightrope. China's track record on human rights presents another challenge. From the treatment of Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang to the repression of dissent in Hong Kong, Beijing's policies have drawn international condemnation. For a country like the UK, which often champions democratic values, engaging with China can appear hypocritical. The UK must carefully balance its economic interests with its ethical stance, a task easier said than done. China's perspective. Playing the long game. China is well aware of Britain's vulnerabilities and sees them as opportunities. Beijing's strategy often involves leveraging economic partnerships to gain influence. By strengthening its ties with the UK, China not only secures financial benefits but also expands its geopolitical reach. However, China must tread cautiously. An overtly aggressive approach could push Britain closer to anti-China alliances with the US and the EU. What's at stake? For Britain, the stakes couldn't be higher. Successfully managing its relationship with China could bolster its economy and restore some of its global influence. Missteps, however, could lead to overdependence on Beijing or even economic retaliation. For China, the UK is both a valuable ally and a test case. How Western nations handle their relationships with Beijing will shape China's strategy for decades to come. Conclusion: a tightrope without a safety net. The UK's wooing of China reflects a broader struggle to balance economic necessity with security and ethics. While the UK seeks Chinese investments to stay afloat, it risks appearing overly reliant or morally compromised. China, on the other hand, will continue its long game, using its economic clout to shape the global order. Can Britain strike the right balance, or will it tip too far in one direction, sacrificing either its principles or its prosperity? Whatever happens, the decisions made today will resonate far into the future, shaping not just UK China relations, but the global geopolitical landscape. For more insightful analyses on global affairs, stay tuned to AN News, where context meets clarity.